What's up, Internet? Jack here for Developers Accomplice once again, and it is midnight launch time. This time, of course, it's the launch of Microsoft's Xbox One. Of course, the crowd are outside in the freezing cold temperatures, but excitement reaching a fever pitch. We're going to be grabbing a few punters, find out just how excited they are, and we bring you some of our own impressions here as well. Alright, so this lovely gentleman, as you may recognise, is Alex from the Developers Accomplice team, one of the guys that's pre-ordered the Xbox this evening. On a scale of 1 to 10, Alex, how excited are you for the new console?
It's got to be a 10. Got to be a 10.
Okay, and which games have you pre-ordered with your console today?
I've gone with Rise, Call of Duty, and FIFA.
Okay, so somebody's clearly making some money here. Excellent. Okay, and which of the 3 games are you going to pop into the console first and foremost?
I think I'm going with Rise, mainly so I don't have to do the long download.
Good stuff. And of course, Rise, getting a bit of reputation, good-looking game as well. Now, sort of comparing the current gen consoles to the new ones, do you think it's worth a step up? Is that noticeable?
I think looking at Rise, definitely. I looked at that and it looked very Hollywood blockbuster-esque, very Gladiator-like. That looked very good. I think there's certain games where you could probably get away with just playing the current gen version, but no, Rise certainly, I think so.
Excellent. Of course, we got our hands on the controller way back at Eurogamer. Seems like a long time ago now. Now, thoughts on that? How does that compare to the current Xbox 360 controller?
Well, to be honest, the last controller was probably one of the best controllers of all time, I reckon. So they didn't really have to make many changes, and I don't think they have. They've just improved little bits and pieces, and it certainly felt brilliant. So hopefully it's all good.
Excellent. Not too many changes in that respect. Of course, Microsoft did do a bit of a U-turn on their online policy way back. Now, are you for or against the changes that they've made?
I wasn't too fussed, to be honest. I like for the always online thing. Most of us these days are always online anyway, and I'm not one of these cynics. I didn't really think they were checking on everything I was doing. I was pretty happy with the policy before, so I wasn't too well. I was a bit disappointed they made the changes. There was some digital sharing stuff I thought was good, but we shall see. Might come in at a later date.
Yeah, of course, maybe I'll come back. And of course, you sort of mentioned Microsoft keeping tabs on you. Some rumours in the paper this week that the new Kinect sensor is able to actually see through your clothes, which is a highlight for some of us. But how does that make you feel?
I've got nothing to hide. Nothing to hide. You know, if they wanna check me out, they're more than welcome.
Alex Lee, everybody. And of course, this gent over here needs no introduction. It's the boss man himself, Mark Trett. Of course, has pre-ordered the Xbox One himself, being a bit of a fanboy. On a scale of 1 to 11, how excited are we?
I say 12. Loving it, can't wait. Just been buzzing all day. Facebook, I've been all over it. Just want to get on my hands on this console. Just can't wait.
Okay, I think you've pre-ordered a few games as well, as far as we've been told.
Yes, of course I've gone for Rise. Looks awesome, like 300 just in Rome. I can't wait to get my hands on it. Having a look at the board, I think I'll go in for FIFA 14 just to make the step up to the graphics so it looks a little bit better. Dead Rising 3. Shitloads of zombies everywhere. Loads of weapons to kill them with. What more do you want? With awesome graphics. It's just going to be awesome.
Okay, so you've gone for most of the exclusives, aside from Forza, obviously. Do you think that's what's going to set the Xbox One apart from the PS4 in this launch period?
Yeah, I think it will. I mean, obviously you've got the stuff like Ghosts, Watch Dogs coming out on both of them. You've got these exclusive titles. They're the ones which sort of sell the console themselves. You know, people are going to go out and buy the Xbox One to play Rise. It looks like an unbelievable game, completely cinematic. You're going to have, being the main character, you're going to follow that, and that's a story which you probably don't get from many games these days. So it's going to be games like that are going to sell the console.
Online, got to talk to you about that, because I know you were a little bit miffed when Microsoft changed their policy. A little bit miffed is an understatement for those that read his article, by the way. Tell us about that.
Well, basically, originally Microsoft was saying that you'd always have to be online. Essentially, a lot of people, I mean, to be fair, Microsoft went out with the sort of the negatives fairly early on, and a lot of people didn't really fully understand what message they were actually trying to give them. What they should have done really is gone out with the big positives. One of the big positives was the digital sharing. You can buy a game and share it with up to 10 friends or family on your friends list. That would have been amazing. Just to let you know, you're sitting there playing Call of Duty Ghosts, for instance, and your mate's got it on his 360, but then can turn up. Not sorry, got it on his Xbox One.
Of course.
Talking about the Xbox One next gen. But yeah, he can obviously just switch it on and download it and stream it from your console. That's amazing. If you're sitting at work all day, he's sitting at home, because your console's online, he could have gone and played it. So it's a shame to see that kind of stuff go, but let's hopefully see it make a return. Maybe I think one of the slogans is it's built for the future, so let's see what the future brings.
Awesome. Okay, and one final question. It's been in the news this week. Don't know if there's any truth in it, which is why I've not reported it. But apparently this little baby, the Kinect sensor, can see through clothes. Now, how does that make you feel as a gamer?
Well, as long as they don't mind me playing Just Dance 14.
Of course, we did that Eurogamer. Check out that video because it's hilarious.
But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you do your best, John Travolta. Give it some of this. Naked. They're going to love it.
If that's what they want to see after all. Mark chat, everybody. All right, here we are. So Xbox One midnight launch. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you?
On a scale, I think it'd be beyond 10. They're easily gone, like 11, 12, definitely.
Awesome, and I know you've had your pre-order down for some time now. When did you actually come and put that pre-order in?
I came in May 21st, exactly when they announced it. I came in, put my pre-order down.
That, folks, is dedication to the cause, and I also understand you've got quite a few games on order as well. Tell us about those.
I've got Battlefield 4, COD Ghost, Dead Rising 3, Forza Motorsport 5, and I can't remember the other ones, but they're all there. Need for Speed Rivals, I think, is the other one. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to them. I mean, Need for Speed, made by Criterion. I love Criterion games. I've played the entire Burnout series. I've still got them all, and I love them. And I'm seeing it as a sort of rival, sort of a hot pursuit 2, really, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be good. I'm really looking forward to Battlefield 4 as well. I've been excited about that. I've had 2 World Championships on Battlefield 3 in the premium competitions, so I already know my stuff away around Battlefield 3, and I'm really looking forward to 4. So yeah, I hope the stuff goes down good there. It's gonna be lots of action. It's gonna be great fun.
Awesome. So, of course, lots of games to choose from. Which one are you going to be trying out first when you get home this evening?
This is a decision. I think I'm going to try out Dead Rising 3. I think I went to the Shoreditch Xbox One tryout, and I played that there. It's such a good game. I mean, yeah, there's been people have been complaining sort of like the frame rates and that, but I think it's going to be a really good game in the end run. And it's going to have lots of playtime to it. It's going to be so much fun, especially with co-op as well. You'll really enjoy that when I get some friends.
Awesome. And obviously, presumably you've played the previous Dead Rising games as well.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, they're fairly similar, sort of conceptually anyway. Do you think this one's going to do much to stand out, or is it all about the visuals this time around?
I think it's going to stand out differently. I mean, 1 and 2, they had their sort of the bugs, and I know that they're one of the sort of time is now gone, so there's no time, which means you're allowed to sort of spend a lot more time just doing what you want. It's really going to, I think, bring it out, and I think there's another mode that allows you to bring the timers back in, but I think it's going to, without the timer, I think it's really going to allow us to explore and really, sort of let us do what we want to do, and especially when we've got smart glass as well, because I have a Surface 2 tablet at home, so it's really going to bring out the best in the game, I think, with the Surface tablets as well with smart glass.
Awesome. So, of course, Smart Glass, just one of the many features that you've got with the new console as well. Obviously, Microsoft did a bit of a U-turn with their online features, previously well documented. What did you make of that?
When they first announced the sort of DRM policies, I was like, ooh, and then at the end it was all like, let's blow it out of proportion. And then actually, if you looked into it, it's actually not so really serious that bad. But then when they turned it around, it actually made life a lot easier, because I know friends that are in the sort of Christmas time are looking forward to getting their Xbox Ones, and I'll probably let them sort of borrow a few games so they can try it out before they go buy them. So I think it's going to be really good. So yeah, it's a nice change. I think it's definitely a good turn.
Awesome. Okay, and of course, one final question. Obviously, you've got your Kinect sensor as well. Is that the future?
Being one person, I love gaming and I really enjoy playing Kinect. Actually, I think when I got it, I pre-ordered Kinect when it first came out, and I played that, and the Kinect 2.0 really does look really good, and I tried that out, and it's really fun. I can't wait to play out with some sort of future titles with the Kinect. It's gonna be great fun.
Of course, and sort of prior to this, you mentioned you've got your hands on the console previously. And what did you make of the controller?
When I first played Forza, I was really surprised with the force feedback and the sort of trigger vibration. It's the first instant you're like, oh, that's a bit weird, and you always let go of the controller, but it sits really, the controller's really comfy and it sits nice, and the new analog sticks are just wonderful. And the fact that the battery pack's now sort of built into the back means there's no battery pack in the way, so your hands sort of really smoothly go along the back. Sort of the button bumpers and the triggers really sort of smooth into each other. It makes everything really nice.
So an improvement on an already excellent controller, you'd say?
Yeah, definitely. I really look forward to sort of playing with it. And I think it's going to, the sort of long out of stints, it's really going to stay the comfort. The 360 controller starts to get uncomfortable after time, but I think this one's going to stay really comfortable.
Excellent. It sounds like you're very excited. Thank you ever so much for your time. Enjoy your Xbox One. Get your hands on it as well. Thank you. Okay, so I'm here with Simon, obviously midnight launch Xbox One. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are we?
Oh, I think it's got to be a 10, yeah. No doubt a 10. Very excited.
Okay, and which games have you pre-ordered with your console?
I've gone for a Ghost upgrade because I started on the 360 on launch day, and I've gone for Forza 5. I've resisted the urge to buy Rise because my wife has told me if I do I won't be getting any Christmas presents. But yeah, they're just the games.
Excellent. Okay, obviously played some Call of Duty Ghosts on the current gen then. How do you think that will step up on the Xbox One?
Well, I'm told that's the 360 or the current gen's running 60 frames per second, but I'm hoping there's going to be a high detail in the maps, just kind of better resolution. Hopefully there'll be no lag, dedicated servers, so hopefully there won't be none of the standard problems that come with the lobbies. And yeah, I just hope it's going to run smoother and be a more enjoyable experience.
So moving forward, the future of the console, which games are you most excited for?
I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. I'd like to see some kind of a flight simulator,
Ace Combat, that type of thing?
Yeah, Ace Combat, the first one on 360, was an absolutely awesome title. To be honest, a lot of the companies are keeping a really close guarded about what they confirm to what they're going to release. So I'll just be watching with interest, kind of thing. I'd like, ideally, if Microsoft follow with their general kind of exclusives, I'd like to see a Fable game at some point in the future. And I think everyone inside would really like to see another Gears of War title.
Of course, that's one that'll go down well with the team, of course. And remember, big releases, big launches, keep it Developers Accomplice. We will keep you posted for sure. Now, prior to this launch evening, have you had a chance to go hands-on with the console at any events at all?
No, I haven't. I just haven't got time to go off work, kind of thing. It's kind of, but obviously I've watched, kind of all the OXM report and various sources to try and keep updated on what's going on. I know about the problems that Microsoft have faced with their launch, so it's kind of, I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Awesome. And one final question. Obviously, Microsoft did a bit of a U-turn with their online policy previously. Obviously, wants it to be online all the time and sharing features. That's kind of been toned down. But what are your thoughts on that?
Well, to be honest, it's not really going to affect me. I understand why they did it, because they wanted to be much more of an online video-based kind of franchise, if you like. Obviously, that is going to be restricted by having to conform to modern or the current boundaries. People are very set in the patterns of what they want to play, and how they want to play their games. We'll just have to see what the future will bring, for kind of that online gaming. I think it's difficult for Microsoft because this time they're going head to head with Google, with kind of Apple. They're not actually selling their whole package as a games console, and I think their marketing hasn't really been, geared up for this. Sony have been so aggressive in the market. They've kind of, waited to see what Microsoft had done, and then they've come in and they've outplayed them. So Microsoft are definitely playing a catch-up game, and it'll be interesting. It can only be good for the consumers, Let's hope that Xbox are there at the end of it, sitting there top of the pile.
Thank you ever so much for your time as well. I hope you enjoy your new console and get your hands on it as well.
No worries.
Cheers. Alright, so this time I'm joined by James Whiskey Daniels.
As I know.
Check that out. Okay, so midnight launch, Xbox One. Now I know, unfortunately, not in a financial position to be picking one up this evening. I take it that when you are, you're going to be picking up one of these bad boys?
I'm getting one as soon as possible.
Of course, and which games are you going to be going for?
Probably every single one of them.
Every single one. Well, it's a good job you just found employment, because that's going to be very expensive.
It really is, but I'm completely okay with it.
So which of those games are you looking forward to playing the most?
Rise.
And why would that be?
You get to stab things.
Okay, so you're going to be playing Rise because you get to stab things.
Yeah.
Okay, and on the horizon, obviously plenty of games coming out for the Xbox One. Which ones have you most excited?
Not too sure. Like, obviously, eventually when the new Halo is announced, that's probably the big one that I'm trying to invest in.
Cool. Well, Microsoft obviously got lots of good exclusive franchises. No doubt Gears of War and, as you say, Halo will make their way to the console in the future as well. Talking of the future, obviously Microsoft did a bit of a U-turn with their online features, as I'm sure you're well aware. How do you feel about that?
I quite like the DRM aspect of it because you could have led into so many decent features with it, as opposed to now where it's kind of closed off a little bit.
For sure. And do you think that's something that they'll bring back further on down the line?
I hope so, because there's, as I said, a lot of decent features that can be implemented with the DRM and the cloud and all that kind of stuff.
Awesome. Okay, and have you had a chance at any sort of lock-in events or anything to go hands-on with the console so far?
I haven't, no.
That's unfortunate. Obviously, we at Developers Accomplice have done. Controller pretty much similar to the 360. Do you think that's a good design choice?
Yeah, they're sticking with what works, because there's no point changing it if it's completely fine as it is.
Absolutely comfortable ergonomic controller. And one other question I just have to ask you. I've been reading in the paper this week that the Kinect sensor is actually able to see through clothes. Whether or not there's any truth in that remains to be seen. But I thought it was an interesting line. Well, what's your thought on that?
Well, there's definitely some interesting experiments. But no, I don't think it's that bad.
Not too worried about that one then. Nothing to hide, this guy. There we go. Well, hopefully, you find yourself in a position to get your hands on the console soon. Enjoy that when you do. Thank you ever so much for your time. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's us done for another night. Early hours, we are absolutely knackered, but we do have our hands on the new console. Probably going to go home and play that now. Remember though, guys, we're going to be doing this all again next week for the launch of the PS4 as well, so keep it Developers Accomplice for all the latest. And for those of you that couldn't be in attendance, remember, we still love hearing from you, so leave us a comment on Facebook and tweet us. For now though, Jack out.